But I'm going to talk to you through a hazy night for a second. I didn't remember. Well, it's actually an afternoon. I guess I thought it was a night. I had a couple lunch drinks, and then I went home early. And I couldn't remember where I was. So I see this sign, and it says, "Cool shops, warm breezes." And it sounds tropical, right? Do you know what it said below that? The shops at Suburban Station. The underground train station has the gall to have that sign. It was like a vacation sign. It had fancy pictures of people like on a beach. Cool shops, warm breezes. I really thought about it. I kept thinking, I was like, what is the warm? I mean, it's really more of a stench than a breeze. And we kind of all know where that warmth is coming from, and it really doesn't feel natural. And then the cool aspect, it wasn't cool like it's a fun shop. It's cool as in it's air conditioned. That's it. It's air conditioned. That's the only gimmick. This is all just like logic that they're running with. But nonetheless, I'm in this place, and apparently I really like signs. And so I was obsessed with this one. But I knew I was in Suburban Station because I've seen that terrible sign before. And I was leaving the work lunch early, going home early for like a 2.5, 3-day weekend. And I'm just wandering around because I like to pace when I'm on the train station because I have nothing better to do. And there's not a lot of people because it's the middle of the day. And in Suburban Station, it's just a true field forest of columns, right? Like if you look across the platform, it's kind of hard to see where people are. So I notice that there is a guy kind of hiding behind the column. And all I can see is it's sort of a shabby-looking person, probably homeless, who has a sign on his back. And all I can see, I can make out, it says "whore." It just says "whore" on the back of his on the back of his back. And it just says "whore," and he's got this sign. So I have to figure out what it is. So I keep pacing, and I realize that not only is this guy homeless, but he's in like a motorized cart, which, he at least has a vehicle, which is a one-up on other homeless people. But still, I feel bad for the guy, right? So I just want to know. I'm curious, what is this sign, and is it like politically motivated? What is this? So I'm walking around and finally get a better angle, and I see it says "war whore." I'm like, what is a war whore? I need to know more, and I promise you I'm not Dr. Seuss. And so I keep walking around, and as I notice the sign, I realize there's another person next to him. He's got a buddy who's also shabby, homeless, and handicapped in a motorized cart. And so I think it's like a meeting or something like that they're having. And but I'm still fascinated with the sign. And by the way, whore was misspelled, missing a W. And I was like, this is really odd. And I guess the angle I was looking at before, the whore, I could kind of see the war whore thing. And I'm wandering around and really trying to figure out what this is all about. And then I realize in this moment that these people aren't just buddies like exchanging a handshake. It was more than a handshake. These two guys are getting like really close to each other, like too close just to be communicating. And I'm not sure if I want to focus on this sign that I'm obsessed with, or if I want to find out what's going on with them. And as I'm realizing this, I put together that these two guys are fooling around. They're having sex, whatever that means to you. I'll just let you put the image in your head. But they're fooling around on the platform in the middle of the day. And it was almost kind of beautiful to realize that these two people could meet each other. And I was really I thought they were my heroes for a minute. And then in that instant, I see them, and one of them sees me. And they must have communicated, and immediately they scatter. But it's not like mice scattering, it's not even like cockroaches scattering. It was almost, because it was motorized carts, it was almost like two planes crashing. You know how they kind of swirl around? Almost as if they were leaning on the handle and just kind of steering and trying to miss the columns just to get away from me. And in that moment, though, I realized not only were they my heroes for sort of dealing with this checklist of disadvantages, right, that they had to go through in life and finding each other. But they were also my heroes because literally I realized that they were also dyslexic, and the sign was meant to say war hero, not whore misspelled. The O and E were backwards. So they are my heroes. I thank them very much.